Duncan and the Coffee Shop Stop, written by Duck Show Studios. One day, the thin controller was very cross with Duncan. Duncan, you took the turn much too fast yesterday and endangered your passengers. And they all complained. If you have another complaint today, you will be in big trouble. He turned and backed away and walked away. Peter, Sam, and Sir Handel were not sympathetic. Oh, you're going to get in big trouble today, Duncan. I can see with your riding roughly like that, said Sir Handel. Oh, Duncan, you're in for it now, said Peter, Sam. I can go a day without complaints. You'll see. I really prove it. Yes, Duncan, prove it. All right, then I will, said Duncan. Duncan was at the station with his coaches when he heard a familiar voice. Oh, you caused me to drop my umbrella, and it broke. Oh, no, not him, said Duncan. I didn't cause you to, you just dropped it, you klutz. Don't call me a klutz. What you say is what you are. Oh, fine then. I'm riding in the back coach. You don't get to pick your coach. You come back here. Oh, hello, Duncan, said the grumpy passenger. I heard you did nice things for me. I did, said Duncan. Oh, yes, you, said the grumpy passenger, took extra coaches for me once. I heard all about it. Well, those were Scarlowy's coaches, and that won't happen again. So there, said Duncan. Oh, I'm not asking for that. I didn't get my morning coffee, said the grumpy passenger. So, can you please stop at the coffee shop near Krosny Curran? And if you don't stop at the coffee shop near Krosny Curran, the thin controller will get many complaints from me. You don't want that, do you, Duncan? Said the grumpy passenger. Duncan didn't want to get complaints. He didn't want Sir Handel and Peter Sam to laugh at him. He didn't want the thin controller to scold him. Right, I'll stop at the coffee shop near Krosny Curran, said Duncan. That's my engine, said the grumpy passenger. Whoa! I tripped over your umbrella! Why'd you leave it on the ground? That's your umbrella that broke on the ground. Is not, is too. Off we go, finally, said Duncan. Duncan puffed along. Everything was going well. The passengers had a lovely time. Everything's going well, everything's going well. But then he got to Krosny Curran. He stopped. Oh, why have we stopped? Said a passenger. I'm never buying tickets on this railway again, said another. Worst ride of my life, said another. Oh, thank you, Duncan, said the grumpy passenger. Oh, no, said Duncan. Now all the other passengers are complaining. Oh, dear. And he puffed on. When he reached the last station, the passengers all complained. And then there was trouble. A man came running up the platform to see the thin controller. Oh, I say, the coffee shop near Krosny Curran was closed, said the grumpy passenger. Oh, what now? The thin controller said right before he was going to scold Duncan. That's why I stopped at Krosny Curran, sir, said Duncan. Duncan, you shouldn't have done as that man said. You shouldn't stop just because one passenger wants you to. Especially when it's not a station. said the thin controller.
The coffee shop was closed! How dare you take me to that coffee shop? It's all your fault, Duncan!
Actually, sir, the way I see it, and all of you,
he said, addressing the passengers,
all of you, it is not Duncan's fault. I'll tend to the matter immediately.
He gave the grumpy passenger a talking to and told Duncan,
Duncan, you must not listen to him. Because you tried to please him, you made everyone else grumpy passengers. I know you just didn't want a complaint. And I appreciate your effort, but this mustn't happen again.
Wearily, Duncan agreed with him.